my name is Katie Weatherup and I'm a shamanic practitioner, and this month's $25 healing is inspired by watching the pervasiveness of the Me Too go through all these people that I'm connected to. And I've always been aware of this. I've been incredibly passionate about the shamanic cleanup for sexual trauma because there's so much that doesn't get addressed in the modern system. And what's really cool about shamanic work is we can address and heal some stuff really quickly. For a lot of people, you know, the process of looking at the emotional and psychological aspect of these wounds is really complicated. There's a lot of time and layers and complexity, but the energetic can be really clean and simple and fast. And that's what I want to offer for this month's $25 healing. I really want to go in and just help clean out all these energies of sexual intrusion. So what was interesting about the Me Too campaign is it didn't limit just overt rape or molest or those kind of extreme experiences, although a lot of us share history in that regard. But it also included experiences of harassment and intrusion. And we really live in a society of sexual intrusion. One of the biggest challenges for me is I got really big boobs really young. And even though I was really protected when I was older, I was molested when I was 5, so it wasn't perfect, but overall, you know, I really was blessed with a lot of safety around my sexuality if I look at the history of my life. But I was also incredibly energetically sensitive, so the adult men who were looking at me, and you know, I was tall for my age, so they weren't even necessarily being pervy, and they didn't realize they were looking at a 13-year-old. There was all this energy coming in, especially at, you know, this part of my body, when I was still, you know, really figuring things out, and it tripped that old trauma of having the intrusiveness. One of the things that's really damaging about an adult engaging sexually with a child, even if the physical intrusion is fairly minor, is arousal. Adult full arousal is an incredibly intense energy, and a child's matrix can't match that. They don't have the energetic structure, and so they get really overwhelmed and really overpowered energetically. So it can be really impactful, this society where we have so much sexual intrusion. And what I find with a lot of my clients as we get older, as we come into our power, as we come into our voice, we're much more able to manage those experiences. It's never going to be our favorite flavor. I mean, I was in Costco, you know, the other day, and I had this older man like come up behind me and literally like step into my personal bubble and whisper in my ear about how we were in the wrong line. And I just looked at him like dude, you know, I don't care that it's slow. Like, how could you think this was okay? But it wasn't traumatic for me. I was like, wow, you really missed the memo on acceptable, you know, ways to treat women. But I had a lot more ability to just, you know, to handle it, a lot more choices that were available to you know, cue him that I wasn't available to participate in that. And so what is great about this is we have the opportunity very quickly with shamanic work to go back and clean up those old traumas, to clear out the sexually intrusive energy from partners, from people on the street that we ran into, from anything from childhood. This healing is really about, you know, just going in and pushing out all the energy, the intrusive energy that's come in, and giving you a stronger bubble that says, hey, you know, unwanted sexual energy is really, truly, energetically not welcome here. Sort of a special, fine-tuned protection for that. I also really like to cut cords with perpetrators, because sometimes perpetrators leave cords, and you really don't want an energetic link to someone who's crossed those lines. So it's a clearing, it's a cord cutting. If it's available, I'll invite any soul parts back that may have left as a result of these experiences. I can do deeper, more nuanced work, of course, if I'm working one-on-one in a full session. However, there's a tremendous power when we all come together and say, yes, I would like to receive this healing now. So there's a huge team of guides that comes in to work with it. And the way I do the $25 healings really does include going to each individual and implementing the protocols, for lack of a better term, that the guides have come up with. I could talk about this subject for a very long time. It's one of my deep passions. In fact, I wrote a whole book on it, my Sex, Shamanism, and Healing, My Kissing Quest. And my kissing quest was this opportunity for me to just experience being in the field of men who were turned on by me, and whether I was interested in them or not, like getting to kind of update, like, hey, I'm okay, you know, I'm not vulnerable, because I really was profoundly affected by the earlier experiences. So I have a lot of passion for this topic. I have a lot of just ability to work with this. I have a team of guides that have been working with me on this topic, healing for other people, for 17 years now. So there's a lot that I can bring to it, and I hope you'll consider joining me. Like I said, the emotional and psychological aspects of dealing with sexual trauma, there can be a lot of layers to those, but the energetic can happen really quickly. And I'm really passionate. May we all be free of this. You know, I don't agree with the fact that society's such a mess about sexuality, but it's the truth. This is the world we live in. We are, you know, as a culture, we've got a big mess around this, that we're all sort of exploring, how do we work with this. However, what I feel like I can support you in having is the clean, clear, powerfully protected, in a really effortless way, personal bubble. Your personal energy space can be free of this intrusive energy as you navigate the world with it in whatever way is appropriate for you. So thank you so much for listening. As you can tell, I have a lot of passion for this topic, and I hope you'll consider joining me. Again, my name is Katie Weatherup, and you can learn more about me and my work at my website, which is handsoverheart.com.